Hi there, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Paint Party live stream. I'm so glad to have you here with me in the studio this evening. If you've been with us before, you know how this works. This is my Learn to Paint journey, and I invite you along on the journey every Monday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time here in my studio. The live stream is really laid back. It's really like a open house, so just pop in, pop out whenever you'd like, but you can participate in the conversation through the comments. Wherever you're watching us, you can comment. Feel free to ask questions, make comments, suggestions as we go through the evening. I really enjoy interacting with you through the comments as you watch the live stream. All right, this week we are doing another painting of my time in Europe this summer. So let's jump right into the painting. I will switch my camera over here as I adjust the cameras for the canvas so that you can see what's going on. But I forgot to show you. Hey there, Lola. So good to see you. I saw you pop in. It's always good to have you. And I see my folks are in the house as well. So good to see you from up the hill, Mom and Dad. Glad to have you. Good to see you on the live stream. All right, so last week we did the painting, or we started the painting of the boat at the dock, the sailboat at the dock. And I messed around with that, and we ended with kind of a sunset, sunrise look. I let that sit most of the week, and it just wasn't sitting right with me. The colors were off, and the mood I really wanted for the painting wasn't there. So I went back and reworked that some this afternoon. So I want to show you where we are with this painting. So I restarted it. You could tell I painted over basically all of the water. I cleared up the back. I took out the dock there that was there. I took out, the dock used to come clear up here. I'm going to redo this so it's a little more in the foreground, and then repaint the boat, or kind of redefine the boat. But this is where we're going with this painting. I like it a lot better already. The feel of the bright sun, the sweeping distant ocean, that was the feeling. Although in the original reference photo you couldn't see this, if you turned to the right, basically looking out from the land, it was ocean all the way out. Well, actually a river that goes to the ocean, but the ocean is right there. So that's why I decided to kind of redo this a little bit. So I'll continue working on this. Of course, you can see this on Instagram, in my stories, as well as in my posts. Once I finish, I'll do progress photos for all of this. So, but wanted to show you, since I had started doing that based on the painting we did last week. So this week we are going to do another Europe painting. It's a little bit different. It's a street scene this time, and something I don't do often, which is people. So let me show you what we're going to do. Here is the reference photo. On the left-hand side, you'll see it with the graph that is duplicated on my canvas here, which you'll see in just a minute. And then in the center is a black and white photo, which will help me to gauge the intensity of the values. And then on the right-hand side is the standalone photo that I'll be using as I go. So let me switch this over so you can see the canvas. All right. That should give you a good view. Actually, my camera is a little smudged, so I will clean that off first. And hopefully I think that's going to be a better view for you. So let's go here. Welcome, welcome to those of you that are popping in now as we go through. Let me put my palette there and turn the canvas view so you can see what is going on. All right, all right. There we go. This is good. Now, excuse me, what I'd like to do is actually, usually we go in and kind of lay down our reference with some browns. So let's go ahead and do that a little bit. I was going to jump right into the painting. Actually, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe we'll do that. We'll jump right into the painting. Do I have a program that puts the line on the picture? I do not automatically. I'm looking for more efficient ways to do this. What I do, Lola, is I take whatever reference I'm using and I take it into Canva, and then I have this overlay as a transparent overlay, and I kind of try to line it up. It's not ideal because this is probably a canvas panel that is 12 or 11 by 14. And I know that is not the dimensions of, just by looking at it. I didn't put the reference photo in the right dimensions, so it's going to look a little wider. So I have to adjust a little bit, but it kind of helps me get still the right perspective, even though this is a different size than the original reference, if that makes sense. And then I use Google Slides to line up like this, where I have all the photos in one row. I use that and then just re-download it as an image file. So that's kind of how I do that. I could probably do the same thing in Canva, but what I'd love to do eventually is get a studio space that's permanently set up where I could have a projector set up with a different, basically this thing for different sizes of canvas. So I would have 11 by 14 or an 8 by 10, and then I could project it onto the screen. But right now I use paint, to do that. So I just used a red paint. Okay, that said, let's go and do a little bit of lay in our, I'm still gonna do values, but we're going to kind of, or we're just gonna do shapes. So but we're gonna kind of look at this. We are gonna do colors as we go. So all right, I'm mixing kind of a darker color. I want to come in here. I really should have done this on the black and white. So right in here somewhere, the shadow comes across. Then we have the shadow of this guy that's walking. And I'm just going to kind of do shapes to indicate the shadow. Okay, there's the guy, or at least the shadow of the guy. This is where it's going to look awkward because we have the kind of perspective is off. But it will cause us to be a little more intentional, if that makes sense. Okay. Let's look at where these are laid in. This we'll just put this, it basically comes to there. This is shadow. I'm not worried right now about the color of the shadow. I'm just trying to get it placed correctly. Hi, Marta. So good to see you. I'm going to be in Arkansas in a couple weeks. Is like navigating the multiverse, or at least figuring out how to lay in this color or this shadow. Then we'll go in and put in more color in. More detail, but this will give us an undercoat that we'll figure out. Oh, here now, down in here is some, this is like the tree and the bottom of the car, and there's some tree shadow there. Right above here is a tree that goes up. We'll see if we keep it there, but in here is some Again, I'm just looking at values. Where are the shadows? Over here, there's a shadow of a door. Goes down to right in there. This makes it much more challenging to when you're looking at like shadows. Colors really throw things off. So it's there's a lady right in there, then a guy right in there. Well, her hair is right there. And then there's we'll just kind of put these things in and play around with them. Trying to think if there are any areas where I have messed up. Okay, this is gonna be from like right here to right there. Okay. Using this kind of gray just to put the block of the building in shadow there. There, that might help. It's a little I see a few more people have come in. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, this is, so I want to take this shadow color over here Okay, we need a little bit ladder. So we need to start drawing in some of the white. This goes right across here. We need it a little bit lighter, just a little bit lighter. So kind of the shape of the cathedral. And we need to go in right here and do a okay. We're sort of getting there. Sort of getting there. Sort of getting there. I'm stepping back just to take a quick view. Okay. It's working, I guess. Now, what I kind of want to do is look at my, okay, I want to get pretty light here. And I want to use this as the base of the sunny part, and then this will be again just an underpainting, but I'm going for where do I just put in shapes. Again, I'm carving in value shapes, lights and darks, here into this. Goes up to about there. That's where the I'm trying to draw in more as I go, a little more. Yeah, I really should have done this in. I should have put the on the black and white. I should have put the grid, because I'm having to go back and forth to the black and white to look at the value scale, and then I'm having to go to the color one to do the Okay, I think we have some of the basic values incorrect. I want to go in though and take this color we have here I don't know how specific we'll get back there, but we'll see. Again, because I want to keep this pretty, what they call painterly. All right, we have a rough background done. Let me see, what do I feel about this? It's all right. I think I have too much red in this brown, obviously. But it's okay for what it is. So let's start to put in some color. Again, just so I'm going to put in the suggestion of shadow here. This guy's pants. And we'll do washing out the red a little bit to be able to do that. It's not showing up much. And back here we have the shadows, a few of these. We'll just suggest some of these things. All right. Now the next thing I want to do is start in the back. Oh, excuse me for groaning in your ear as I grab my paint rag. Let's see. Let's go to the sky. The sky is in the distance, so I want to take a little bit of, I'll take this blue. It's pretty, it's a sunny sky. So we'll do put this comes all the way down to, yeah, like in here. So we'll just bring it all the way down. We'll need to do this a couple times because obviously our red lines are going to show through there, but this will give us a good start. All right, we'll let that sit for a minute and dry, because it'll dry darker than the paint, so it'll look fairly dark. Okay, I want to kind of step back and I want to now do the tree there in the background. Actually, I should really think and see if there are any elements that I want that I want to minimize or take out of the painting. We shall see. We'll see. I think I might take some of these upper swaths out because I really want the cathedral or whatever. I think that was the cathedral. I want that much more visible, and this guy, and then the guy who's kind of in the foreground, I want it to lead the eye kind of like a triangle there, and then this will cradle this. The sky will kind of lead the eye there, and then this will be pointing towards it. So yeah, I may take some of those distracting swaths out. So I may have a couple up here and then this down here. That said, let's put some shadow kind of color for the tree. I'm mixing brown and my greens so that I have like a pretty deep, maybe a little blue. So I have a pretty deep and we want to put that right in there. Just the suggestion. Then here is really the tree. Yeah, I like that, I think. Want this tree really dark. I think I'm going to take out that lady. So we have tree, building, man walking here. I may take out that car, I think, and just have like the building. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Just simplify it a little bit. Again, give the suggestion of what's going on. Now, I want to go in and I think put in reestablish these shadows with color. But I may go here and do, let's see, I'm going to step back just a minute, take a look, see what I like, what I don't like. Whoops. Yeah, let's dive in. We'll put a new palette out. And now what I want to do is establish this shadow again. So let's take a little bit of the brown. This needs to be pretty like grayish in the color because it's just kind of it's a shadow color, so I want just a little bit more blue tone in it. And this will dry darker, so I want to come up here and start putting in the specifics of this building. Again, we're going back to just really simple shapes because there doesn't need to be a lot of detail in the background. We just have to tell it's in shadow, and we don't really want our eyes drawn there. And honestly, kind of the same here. Like, we just want we put just a little bit of blue into this yellow, kind of yellow mix, and diffuse it with white so that it still is light, but it's in the shadow. And then we come in, we start drawing the edge of that. We can input some, because there are some details along the edge of this, but say that's the edge of this building. And what I want to do now is, because I like this color, I want to take it, this brownish color, on a smaller brush, and I just want to put the indication of some architectural details. Because right in here, there is a there's doorway right there. Okay, let's look where we, along this, we want to, along the edge here. All right, we'll keep working on that, but that's gives us a little bit of detail. We don't want a whole lot. That might even be more detail than is needed there. But it's easy, especially when you have the reference photo, to try to paint everything you see. And I really don't want to do that. So I said that I wanted to go back and do what I started with was reestablish the shadows. So I wonder, I think this is a yeah, I'm liking this, how it's coming out. Okay, now we'll go reestablish our highlights in the that's not what I wanted to do. Okay. I'm gonna step back. The crowd is quiet tonight. Hope you all have had a good week. Thank you for those of you that are hanging out with me the rest of the evening, or at least this evening. Let's go back to the sky and start doing some of this work. Cover up that. Man, we may have to do another. I didn't realize that blue was so translucent. We may have to do another. Whoa, that's a lot of blue on my palette. I'm losing it, y'all. Some white. Yeah, we might have to. There we go. Maybe that'll help cover some of those red lines that we did for our graph. It's just not wanting to cover. We'll probably have to do 3 coats. But that's one reason I would like to have a projector, because then when I turn it off, it's off, and when I turn it on, I can still see where the lines are over the painting. But this is what we have for now, so we'll make it work. We'll let that dry just a little bit. Then we'll come back to it. I really like how this composition is coming out. Like, I actually like this tree more visible. So maybe I'll bring the other loop things above. All right. We have a sky. We have, I think, pretty good. This is reading pretty well. We could probably come over here and do some of this. So let's try that. The wall of this building. It is pretty bright. It's about the same brightness as the light here. So let's do that before we lose all of that. Okay. in a way, this is kind of exciting. Those of you that are here and have been here from the beginning will remember maybe one of the early paintings I did, which is right behind this, right there up on the wall, was a painting of Spearfish Falls, which is close to where I live now. And I remember struggling a lot with how to, this whole section is in shadow. You can see if I zoom in a little bit. And I remember finding it difficult because my eye wanted to paint the tree white and the water, the highlights in the water white. And then I learned that the tree in the shadow is actually kind of a purplish color, which if I zoom in real close, you can kind of see. And that's what helps it to render as white in the shadow. Anyway, it's interesting to me that now I'm painting pretty effectively this subject that is primarily shadow and all kinds of detailed, nuanced shadows in foreground and background. And so I'm just stopping kinda to pat myself on the back a little bit, but also to say and remind myself, like, even when, because I just had the thought, man, this looks so childish, and will I ever be able to paint decently? But the reality is, yes, I can paint decently, and I have painted decently, and a lot of that is sorry, I'm trying to do too many things at once. I can paint decently, and I have painted decently, and I really have improved since I started 2 years ago. I mean, it's obvious, but sometimes when you're in it, you just feel like, man, I haven't done anything. What is my problem? Doesn't take much to indicate 3 dimensions, y'all. Now I want to do that. Hey Bob G, so good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, it definitely is a different subject than I have done before. It is for sure a different, and it was such a, honestly, this was just like a magical, I can't remember if this was one of the first jaunts we did in Lisbon, but it definitely was a it definitely was memorable because it was a sorry, I'm trying to think about where the light's reflecting and such. Yes, it was in Lisbon, I think the first or second day, once we kind of adjusted to the time change. Then we went looking through town, just kind of wandering through town, and found coffee and just wandered around. And I remember just being taken with the exciting feeling of being in a new place, a new environment, and just different sights. And this festival, or this street, was just decorated so beautifully that I don't know, I mean, I don't know why, or if it was just because there were often streets like this that were just, designed beautifully or decorated beautifully and different. So I don't have any idea what really was going on there. But yeah, let me see if I can. If I can carve this guy's head a little bit, because I kind of just blotched him in at the beginning, and that's how he stayed. But now the shadow of his head is way too prominent. So wonder if this is. We can carve him out a little bit. There we go. All right. Let's see if we can put a little more detail in this. I'm not sure exactly what color to use, so we're going to just play with it. Need kind of this reddish brown think we need a little blue to diffuse the red. Give us a little I think we need a little. Not sure. This might be. All right, we at least have some structure. Now we need to go in and just put suggestion of some design. So we'll suggest a shoe there. And we'll do, I don't know what color this is. Maybe brighten this a little bit. Maybe take a little yellow. Trying to figure out what the color of the reflection on his calf is, but we're going to put it in. I'm going to put something there. His leg. The hard thing is it's similar to the ground, so we either have to brighten that way up or darken this way down. Now there's a, I need to take there. Oh, that's messed up. Okay, I need to step back because I'm getting too close to it. But I really like where it's going. I like, still this is not super defined. So we're going to go back. Now, since we've been working in the foreground for a while, and we're going to go do the sky again, see if we can cover up that beautiful red that we have enjoyed for so long. I think this is going to do it. Yeah, looks like, at least. I know that's probably washing out on your screen, but I need that bright light to so that I can see. I need to bring some white into this now so we can really mix it so it looks like a really sunny day. Lots of ambiance or atmosphere in the sky. All right. Yeah, I like this composition better and better as I work on it without the people in the... I was going to put the other guy there, but I just like this and how it leads. I think the tree does that for us. And then the cathedral in the background. So what I want to do now is to go and really sculpt in the cathedral, I think. So it is a very diluted light color. So let's see what we can do. Okay, we want to start the shape correct. Probably shouldn't have done this right after I did the blue. We'll have to come back. Let's just make sure the shape works. We'll add some shadow in there to make that better. I am just not an architecture painter yet. So we're going to leave that for a minute because the sky is still wet. We're going to come down and do the kind of shadow color, mixing the same blue, brown, and white into kind of a grayish color. This might be too dark, but we shall see. Oh no, I think that's going to work. Got about 20 minutes to get as much done on this as possible. I'd like to get this really we're getting there. It's starting to look the way I want to. Thank you, Lola. Yeah, the lighthouses were a lot of fun. And the truth is it's not I probably spoke too soon. It's not that I'm not an architectural painter. It's just that it doesn't come natural to or as naturally to me. But the fun thing is, or the interesting thing is, I think, most of my favorite paintings, a lot of my favorite paintings are actually ones that were architectural. So there's that. When I really think about it, because I did one that was like the Pantheon in Lisbon, and that one I really, really liked. It's actually hanging in my living room right now. So, yeah. We're going to have to work on this a little bit, but oops. Sorry about that. So let's see if we can. About 5 more minutes, y'all. We will get a little bit more of this done, or try to, and see where we end up. So far, like the boat, I'm much more pleased with this in the sense that it's I feel like this is more where I want it to be. The colors are right, the values are getting there. So yeah, that's we're just gonna paint this again. Then we do add a little bit more darker brown and a little blue so we can do a roof line or a shadow of a roof line, and definitely here. There we go. A little bit. Where is my... There. Y'all, this is really doing what I want it to do. It's making me so happy. It's so funny when things work out like you want. It's like, yay. I just need like 2 more hours, 3 more hours on this, or more. But I'm going to do a few little things that'll make a big difference. So I'm going to come in here and kind of plug in some highlights. That will help tell the story of what's going on there. Look at that. Just a little highlights. Just a little highlight. There. Let me take this. I keep noticing just these little things to do, which is bad because we're up against the clock. All right, this will have to be the last thing, y'all. We're just going to put some dark into the guy's backpack to give it some shape so it's clear what this is. There. Then his shoe here. And there. There we go. We'll keep working on this, but we have to stop for now. So I want to say, oh, do we really have to? Yes, we do, Steve. Oh, but I just see something that will just, I just want to, a little more. There, we'll start to give it there. We're just going to start to give it a little form. Okay. And basically we'll just keep doing that till it's done. But I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot of detail because I really like how loose this is. It just needs a little more contrast because it looks a little unfinished. And then I'm going to do the last little bit. I'll do the streams across, and I'll do that very sparingly because I like the way this is drawing the eye in. What do you all think? Composition is much improved from the reference, isn't it? Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. I'm going to do you all a favor and bring you back there so that you don't have to get dizzy when I move the camera. Then I'll say a proper adieu. But I want to say, first of all, thank you for joining me once again. I think we're at the 97th episode of the live stream. So we are on the countdown to the big 100. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lola. All right. I think we are set. Let me show you from a distance what we have so far. I'm really liking this. It's reading the way I want. It's giving me the feeling of, this is the feeling of what it was like to be there. So I hope that you are, I hope that it gives you a little bit of a sense of what it was like to be there. Beautiful summer day, just very carefree. Can't wait to go back. So that's the feeling I want, and that's the feeling I'm going for. My goal is to do several of these paintings so that then I kind of have a small collection of European paintings from Europe, paintings from a variety of places in Europe, and that will kind of give me kind of a mini collection in the work that I've been doing. So that is part of my development, I think, is finding what inspires me at particular times and then doing collections of work that people can react and respond to more than just one-offs here and there. So I want to say thank you again. Have a wonderful evening, a great week, and I wish you all the best. And I will see you next week, the same time, Monday evening, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Central. Until then, I hope you have a great one, and we'll catch you next time. Good night, everybody.